Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're your shortcut to getting genuinely clued in, mixing surprising facts with, hopefully, just enough humor to keep you listening.
Definitely trying.
Haha, right. So today, we're diving into an artist who, honestly, perfectly sums up what we try to do here. Someone who's taken what a lot of people might just dismiss as, niche.
Super niche. Even.
Yeah, super niche, and turned it into something genuinely groundbreaking. Yeah. Real art. Okay, let's try and paint a picture here. Imagine this. You're at a massive music festival. Total sensory overload, right?
Oh, yeah. Thousands of people, music everywhere, mud probably.
Exactly. The whole chaotic, amazing scene. And then you're maybe scrolling through your phone and you see an article in Forbes magazine. Yes, Forbes.
The serious business one. Suits and ties.
Right. And the picture isn't some CEO, it's artists.
Yeah.
In nothing but Speedos, pop it out of festival porta-potties.
It's just... You can't make it up. Bizarre, definitely hilarious, and you absolutely don't forget it.
You really don't. It just burns itself onto your brain.
It does. It's this perfect blend of, like, audacity and weirdly brilliance. It immediately tells you these aren't your typical artists.
Not even close.
Yeah.
And that, everyone, is how we meet Huge Euge. He's the guy right at the center of this iconic moment. And his journey through music, it's really unique.
Mm-hmm.
So today... that's our deep dive. We're going beyond just the wild stuff that gets the headlines.
Though we definitely need to talk about the wild stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But also the creative depth behind it.
Yeah.
The genre he really champions, nerdcore hip-hop, which we'll get into.
Yeah.
And the whole festival culture, this kind of wonderfully strange world he fits right into.
Yeah, our mission here really is to unpack how someone can be so unconventional. Like the kind of artist that makes you stop and go, wait, what?
Totally.
But at the same time, be incredibly skilled, making music that's intricate, smart, and, really personal. We want to get past that first impression, that spectacle, and see what's really going on underneath.
Exactly. We're going to try and show you how embracing your own weird, leaning into those passions that maybe feel a bit niche, how that can actually be like the most authentic thing you can do.
Right.
And how those things you geek out on, the stuff you spend hours doing, how that can become real art that connects with people. So consider this your shortcut to understanding a truly original voice in music today. Get ready for Huge Euge.
Okay, let's do it.
So our story really kicks off at Riot Fest 2024. This was, what, nearly a year ago now?
Yeah, about that. Chicago.
Chicago's Douglas Park. Huge Euge didn't just, play a set. He basically etched his name into Riot Fest history permanently.
It sounds like it. You've got this massive park, almost 50,000 people there every day.
Insane numbers.
Right. And his performance wasn't just background music. The sources describe it as this, high-energy explosion, super weird, really funny.
Yeah, a spectacle, just lit up the weekend. Apparently he had this, magnetic eccentricity on stage, pulled everyone in.
It sounds like it was designed to be memorable. The descriptions. High energy, weird, comical. That lines up perfectly with an artist who'd then go and do the port-o-potty thing.
Right. It wasn't just talent. It was performance art with a specific goal.
Exactly. A specific kind of statement.
And he wasn't doing it solo. He had his crew with him. AJB, Axe, and JJL2. They were right there on stage too.
Ah, the compadres.
Yeah. And apparently they delivered this really tight, electrifying performance together, like a unified front of joyful chaos.
Joyful chaos. I like that. It captures that vibe.
But here's where it gets really wild, where they went from just performers to, actual festival icons. That Forbes photo.
Okay, yeah. The photo. It's fascinating how this single image just became huge. Symbolic, almost.
Totally. Huge Euge, AGB, JJL2. Not just posing, but literally captured, emerging from festival porta-potties, right, wearing nothing but Speedos.
I mean, it completely breaks all the rules of, normal music industry branding. But you have to look. You can't ignore it.
It was kind of genius, wasn't it? Strategically, I mean.
You think so?
Well, yeah. Getting that photo in Forbes, a magazine known for, serious business stuff.
Okay, fair point. That context definitely amps it up.
Right. It wasn't just some random stunt picture floating around online. It was in Forbes. That amplified the whole thing massively. It felt like this deliberate piece of performance art that just perfectly summed up their whole deal.
Which was?
Fearless performances, totally unpredictable antics, and just this, refreshing refusal to take themselves too seriously. It screamed, "We're here, we're weird, get used to it."
And that's the core of it, right? It wasn't just for laughs, though it was funny. It felt like this deliberate statement about who they were as artists.
Authentic.
Tick.
Yeah. And think about the company he put them in. The article apparently mentioned them alongside legends like Slayer.
Okay, wow, Slayer, intense.
Sublime, with their whole unique vibe, and GWAR, the masters of stage spectacle.
Yeah, right. Artists known for being completely out there, pushing boundaries. So being in that list, that's significant. It says, yeah, these guys belong with the envelope pushers.
It absolutely does. And this moment, this photo, it had immediate consequences. It led directly to this really interesting interview on Pipe Man Radio right there at the festival.
Ah, Pipe Man. He's got a knack for finding the interesting stories at these things.
Apparently so.
Yeah.
He said he literally just stumbled upon Speedo dudes coming out of the port-o-potty, and his reaction was instant. I need to interview them.
Just saw it happen and knew.
Exactly. He was drawn in by the pure spectacle, but then he found something more.
That organic discovery is key, I think. It wasn't some PR pitch. He saw the real thing. But crucially, what did he find beyond the Speedos?
Well, he quickly realized they weren't just a gimmick. He called Huge Euge and the crew talented and funny.
Yeah.
And the interview itself, he described it as one of the funniest interviews ever.
Okay, see, that's important. Talented and funny. It means the humor, the antics. They weren't empty. There was substance there. Skill, wit, personality. These guys had depth.
Definitely. So for you listening, why does this one moment matter so much in understanding Huge Euge? It wasn't just a stunt. It was this bold, flag-planting declaration of artistic identity.
Authenticity above all else.
Right. It showed how genuine off-the-wall humor, when it's backed by real talent and zero fear of being yourself, it can actually make you iconic.
Yeah.
Especially in a place like Riot Fest that values that stuff. It really sets the stage for his music.
Yeah, and to really get Huge Euge, you have to get Riot Fest. It's not just any festival. They call it a uniquely immersive experience.
Immersive is right. Nearly 50,000 people a day in Douglas Park.
Yeah.
It's like a temporary city pops up.
A very specific kind of city. Riot Fest is known for being eclectic, celebrating the weird and wonderful. And this year, heading towards their 20th anniversary, they actually launched this new thing called Riotland.
Riotland. Okay, tell me more.
Well, it really leans into that unique spirit. They had things like an actual wedding chapel on site.
No way. People got married there.
Apparently, fans exchanging vows, probably in punk gear or whatever, adds this layer of delightfully weird romance.
That's amazing. What else?
They built a fully functioning replica of the Quick Stop convenience store from the movie Clerks.
The Kevin Smith movie.
That's the one. And it wasn't just a prop. It was actually selling stuff you might need at a festival. Condoms, cough drops, all with that Clerks vibe.
Hilarious. And useful.
And maybe most interestingly, they had the Riot Fest Historical Society installation.
Historical Society?
Yeah.
At a punk festival.
Dedicated to punk rock history, yeah. And get this, it was founded with input from Fat Mike of NOFX.
Fat Mike, who also started the Punk Rock Museum in Vegas.
Exactly. So it shows how deep the festival's roots go. It's celebrating its own history, making people feel part of something. That sense of community is huge.
It totally is. You feel like you belong. Which, speaking of belonging and weird inside jokes, we have to talk about John Stamos.
Ah, yes. The Riot Fest John Stamos saga. It's legendary.
It really is. This wonderfully absurd, long-running gag. Stamos somehow became their favorite social media target. Affectionately, I think.
Mostly affectionately, yeah. And their commitment to the bit is intense.
It started with an actual bust of him made of butter.
A literal butter bust.
Yeah.
Which, probably didn't last long in the Chicago sun.
Oh, probably not. So what did they do this year?
They upgraded.
Yeah.
Massively. A full-size statue of John Stamos, made of foam and resin, but designed to look exactly like butter.
Genius. Why?
So it wouldn't melt. They needed a storm-proof, heat-proof butter Stamos. The dedication is just wow.
It's brilliantly absurd. And for anyone wondering why Stamos, Uncle Jesse from Full House, Jesse and the Rippers, sometimes drums for the Beach Boys.
It's totally random. That's the beauty of it. Riot Fest just commits to these hilarious random things. It perfectly signals their whole ethos. Embrace the absurd. Commit hard. Don't take things too seriously.
Yeah, that Stamos statue, weirdly, tells you everything about the festival's soul.
It really does. It's not just about booking bands. It's about creating this whole environment where the unexpected isn't just allowed, it's encouraged. Where art and music and pure silliness all blend together. It's the perfect place for an artist like Huge Euge.
And that vibe definitely spills over into the music programming itself. It's incredibly diverse. You get these massive, iconic reunions people travel miles for, like Slayer this year.
Their first show since 2019, right?
Yeah. Huge deal. Total pyro-fueled spectacle, classic Slayer aggression, Kerry King shredding, the whole 9 yards, pure metal power.
And then completely different end of the spectrum, you had Sublime.
With Jacob Noel, Bradley Noel's son, singing.
Which must have been incredibly emotional, hearing him sing songs like Santeria with the original guys. That's a powerful moment, passing the torch.
Definitely. But it wasn't just the huge reunions. Loads of punk and rock mainstays. NOFX were there, doing their unique thing, probably saying something outrageous.
As they do.
Polaris, the Aussie metalcore band, apparently just ripped the place apart with tracks like Nightmare, super intense, and the defiant Dickie Barrett's new band.
From the Bosstones.
Yeah, that Dickie Barrett. Apparently introduced a song by saying, this song is about drugs, before playing We Make Drugs. Just pure punk attitude.
Love it. That mix of energy and humor is key.
Totally. Like state champs joking about how hot it was, connecting with the sweaty crowd, or face-to-face, just being super likable, playing classics like Ordinary. They even got the crowd to flip off a helicopter together.
A unifying moment of punk rock defiance against air traffic.
Pretty much. Perfectly Riot Fest.
Sounds like it.
And it wasn't just rock. Major hip-hop legends, too. Cypress Hill brought their green-themed set, as the sources called it.
I can imagine. Insane in the Brain must have gone off.
For sure. And Be Real apparently got political, calling out politicians. Using the platform.
And Public Enemy, too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Chuck D, Flavor Flav, the whole deal. Flav wore a Support Women's Sports shirt, made this plea for unity. Yeah. Then bam, fight the power. Iconic.
The range is incredible, just genre hopping all over the place.
And you can't discuss Riot Fest weirdness without mentioning GWAR.
Of course not. The Masters, a Riot Fest staple.
They delivered a masterclass in the marriage of music and imagery, all the crazy costumes, the fake blood, the satire, Ballsack, the jaws of death, joking about the rain and his fake crypto coins.
Always topical, those space monsters.
Right. So all of this wild, diverse, hilarious, boundary-pushing environment brings us back to Huge Euge.
Okay, yeah. Context established.
His style, this self-described nerdcore hip-hop, his totally unpredictable stage presence, it doesn't just fit at Riot Fest. It's like the perfect embodiment of Riot Fest.
He is Riot Fest in a way.
Pretty much. He opened the Sunday stage, AAA stage, after storms had rolled through, and he's playing tracks like The Pacemaker Boogie 2, just completely unique.
So for you listening, the takeaway here is Huge Euge isn't some random weirdo who crashed the party.
Not at all.
He's thriving in a festival that's built for originality, for humor, for artists who refuse to just blend in. Riot Fest creates this habitat, and he's perfectly injected to it. It shows that finding your specific audience, even if it seems small, can be way more powerful than trying to be generic.
Well said. So let's move beyond the festival antics, the Speedos, and really dig into Huge Euge's actual musical style. Let's deconstruct it.
Okay, from the spectacle to the substance.
Exactly. He just dropped a new single, actually, called Hummus on a Cracker.
Hummus on a Cracker.
Okay.
Intriguing title.
Right. And the word is it doubles down on the humor, energy, and creativity his fans expect. It sounds playful, maybe a bit mundane on the surface, but you just know there's going to be more to it lyrically.
That title alone kind of primes you for something unique. But yeah, to really get his lyrical skill, his storytelling, and what nerdcore is all about, we absolutely have to talk about my favorite game.
Oh man, this track.
Yeah.
It's something else, a total masterclass in nerdcore storytelling.
So set the scene for us. Where did this performance happen?
This was back in 2022, Austin, Texas, at an event called Nerdcore Days during SXSW. He's there with JGL too.
Okay. And the song itself, my favorite game, is about.
It's a ridiculously detailed, completely spoiler-filled lyrical run-through of the entire plot of Final Fantasy VII, the classic PlayStation game.
The entire plot. That's ambitious.
Insanely ambitious.
That's right.
And incredibly detailed. For anyone not familiar, it's like trying to wrap the entire plot of Star Wars, including all of the side characters and planets, but stick with it, because how he does it is amazing. It's about turning that deep, deep passion into a narrative.
And he knows it's full of spoilers.
Oh, yeah. He apparently kicks it off with this hilarious, sweary apology, like, yo, sorry for the thing spoilers, but also, if you haven't played it, it's like 25 years, goddamn old man. Referencing Final Fantasy VII specifically.
That's brilliant. Self-aware, connects instantly with the gaming crowd, acknowledges the game's legendary status. Perfect setup.
Totally disarming. And then he just launches. It's this epic rap, hitting all the major plot points of FF7. Starts right at the beginning. Shinra Corporation, the bad guys killing the planet and friends, sets the stakes immediately. We're pulled right in.
Okay, so he introduces the main conflict, then the heroes.
Yep. Describes Cloud, the main character, with his big sword and some magic too. mentions his lightning material, that's materia, the game's magic system. Then Barrett, the guy with the gun arm on my side, with a gun on his arm and a bad attitude. Perfect snapshot descriptions.
Capturing the characters and mechanics in just a few words, that's skillful.
And he keeps going, deeper into the plot. Talks about realizing Shinra might not be the only bad guys. Mentions the cryptic flashbacks, the dark dress mystery man that Sephiroth early on seeing Genova trapped behind the glass, hearing Hojo's evil laugh. He's literally wrapping the game's plot twists as they unfold.
Building the mystery lyrically. Nice. Does he get into the game world itself? Locations? Mechanics?
Absolutely. He raps about wanting to spend the money at the Golden Saucer, the game's huge amusement park. Talks about saving Barrett's kid, which is a big emotional beat. Mentions Sid and his airship flying everywhere except Wutai, a specific location you can't reach yet. Even climbing down Nibelheim, a key flashback area. It's like a lyrical speedrun.
Wow. The level of detail is insane. Only a true fan would include those specifics.
Exactly. He even mentions spells like using haste to manipulate time and casting Cure on Me. And then there's this surprisingly touching line about wishing to get married one day. Shows the mix of epic questing and personal stuff in the game.
That human element amidst the fantasy. Important. But FF7 also has that big moment. Does he go there?
Oh, he goes there. Hard. Hits you with it. Blunt force. Iris is fucking dead, man.
Whoa. She drops it like that?
Yep. Followed by Sephiroth stabbing her in the back with his longsword. He doesn't shy away from it.
Yeah.
Captures the shock and impact of arguably the most famous death scene in video game history.
Man, that takes guts, lyrically. It really lands.
And he doesn't stop there. He covers the later game stuff, too. Cloud in a coma, the Fort Condor battles, which is like a mini-game within the game, the giant weapon monsters emerging, the side quest to find Vincent Valentine, the ultimate quest for the Knights of the Round, summon materia on that hidden island. He covers the whole saga.
It's genuinely impressive, the sheer volume of information packed into rhyme.
And it brings it to the finale, rapping about going into the final dungeon, the crater, facing spiders with venom and dragons that spit, even mentioning a specific annoying enemy, a mole with a lantern that'll kill you in one hit.
Ha! That mole. Every FF7 player remembers that little terror.
See? Only a real fan knows. He even mentions his insane final party choice using cat scent and Yuffie. Specific, nerdy details that resonate.
Deep cuts for the dedicated fans. Love it. And the final battle.
He covers it all. Learning Pandora's box, probably referring to enemy skill materia. Beating Genova, she wasn't strong. The multi-form final boss. Bizarro Sephiroth's healing getting put to the test. And then Safer Sephiroth, who he describes as a Fing unicorn.
A unicorn. Okay, that's a unique take on Sephiroth's final form. Hilarious.
It's just peak Huge Euge, taking this epic, serious moment and injecting his specific brand of humor. But then he wraps it all up with a really thoughtful line. Between war and peace, I choose compassion.
Wow. So it's not just a recap. He brings it back to a personal philosophy. That adds real depth.
It really does. And after the song finishes, he adds this personal note. Confesses he's played the FF7 remake 17 times already.
17 times. Okay, he's committed.
Right. But then complains he can't play the next part, Rebirth, because he doesn't have a PlayStation 5.
Oh, man, the struggle is real. Every gamer feels that pain. Super relatable.
Totally connects him to the audience. And he even calls out, like, anyone else never played the game or care for it out there? My only person up here, what the fuck? Just playful frustration.
That vulnerability, that direct engagement, it really works. Shows he's one of them. Passionate, maybe a bit exasperated, but totally authentic.
So what does this track really show you, the listener? It's Huge Euge taking something he's deeply passionate about, this specific video game, and turning it into incredibly detailed, super engaging personal art.
It's a blueprint, almost. How to take your niche obsession and make it compelling.
Exactly. He's not just retelling the story. He's using its structure, its emotional weight, to create something new, something uniquely his. It proves that specific stories, told with passion and skill, can hit hard. It makes you think, maybe my weird hobby could be art.
Yeah, it reframes those nerdy passions as potential creative fuel, which is kind of the heart of nerdcore, isn't it?
Perfectly said. The detail in his lyrics, it's the perfect bridge to talking about nerdcore as a whole genre. So what is it exactly?
Well, fundamentally, it's this really unique and vibrant subgenre of hip-hop. It really started bubbling up mostly online in the early 2000s, a real grassroots thing.
Okay, and what defines it?
At its core, it's where the rhymes, the lyrics are all about stuff like video game controllers, comic books, and the complex algorithms of computer code.
So geek culture, basically.
Exactly. Taking those interests, which maybe weren't seen as cool or typical rap subjects and turning them into the focus, crafting lyrical masterpieces out of them. It's rap, but filtered through this very specific, often intellectual, and yeah, frequently humorous lens.
And the artists, the MCs, they embrace this.
Oh, totally. They wear their nerd badges proudly. It's a core part of the identity. It kind of subverts the usual hip-hop stereotypes by bringing in all this gaming lore and science fiction sagas, getting deep into tech stuff, intricate narratives. It's about celebrating that curiosity.
Where did it actually start? Who kicked it off?
Like we said, grassroots, early 2000s. But the name itself, nerdcore, is pretty much always credited to one guy, MC Frontalot.
Right, MC Frontalot. He's called the godfather of nerdcore.
Yep. Because he literally used the term on his track nerdcore hip-hop back in 2000. He basically named the genre he was pioneering.
What was his style like?
Known for really witty and intelligent lyrics, all about geek culture, super clever wordplay, and just this unabashed celebration of geekdom. He really connected with people who felt like mainstream hip-hop wasn't speaking to their interests.
So he kind of carved out that space.
He did, but it's important to remember other artists were playing with similar themes even before the term nerdcore existed. Guys like MF Doom.
With the mask and the comic book villain persona.
Exactly. And Kool Keith with his crazy sci-fi concepts, Deltron 3030's whole futuristic album. They were weaving in nerd culture references and complex stories way back, kind of paving the way.
Gotcha. So what really makes nerdcore different from other rap? Is it just the topics?
The subject matter is definitely the biggest thing. Video games, comics, sci-fi, tech, obscure movies, coding, and just the general experience, the joys and struggles of being a nerd.
Right.
But it's also about what it often leaves out. It generally tends to forego the conventional themes you hear a lot in mainstream hip-hop, street life, violence, materialism sometimes.
Okay, so it's less about that, more about...
A more cerebral and introspective approach usually, focusing on passions, intellect, personal experiences within those geeky realms. And that often fostered this strong DIY ethic. Very independent, artists handling everything, connecting directly with fans online.
Makes sense, given its origins. Has it stayed purely online?
Not at all. It evolved, started moving into the real world with live performances at conventions like Comic-Cons, gaming events, even dedicated nerdcore shows. People wanted to experience it together.
Right, build that community offline, too.
Exactly. And then there was that documentary in 2008, Nerdcore Rising. That was huge for visibility.
What did it do?
It really spotlighted the scene, followed artists like MC Frontalot, MC Lars, who we'll talk about more beefy, showed their struggles and successes, introduced the whole subculture to a much wider audience.
Interesting. Has it influenced mainstream music at all?
You could argue it has, yeah. Maybe not directly labeled as nerdcore, but you see elements.
Yeah.
Popular artists like Childish Gambino.
Donald Glover, yeah. Definitely got some geek cred.
Right. And Tyler, the creator, with his unique, often quirky themes, they've both shown an affinity for the genre and geekdom. They might not be in the genre, but they've definitely drawn inspiration from that willingness to embrace unusual interests and be introspective in their rap.
So bringing it back to Huge Euge, where does he fit in this picture?
He's like a perfect modern example. He embodies it all. The humor, the super detailed lyrics about niche topics, the authentic celebration of geek culture. He's living proof of nerdcore thriving today.
Okay, so for you listening, understanding nerdcore helps you see Huge Euge not just as a funny guy in Speedos, but as part of this specific, legitimate, and really creative movement.
Exactly. It shows how rap can be this amazing tool for super specific, smart, personal expression. And it's built this cool, welcoming community for people whose passions might have been overlooked elsewhere. It's about finding your voice, even if your voice wants to rap about Final Fantasy.
Which brings us to another really interesting layer behind Huge Euge's artistry, mentorship. Specifically, his connection to MC Lars and something called the Lit Hop Academy.
Yeah, this is a fascinating connection. MC Lars, another key figure in nerdcore, runs this academy.
Lit Hop Academy, what's the mission there?
It's pretty unique. The goal is explicitly bridging the gap between poetry and rap, trying to get people, students and artists, to explore and appreciate literature, but through the lens of hip-hop, using rap as a creative educational tool.
Poetry and rap. Interesting combo. How does that work in practice?
Well, MC Lars actually teaches these lit hop workshops at major universities, USC, UCLA, Stanford.
Wow, legit institutions.
Totally. And in these workshops, he shows how classic literature informs today's lyrics. He draws lines from, say, Edgar Allan Poe all the way to Kendrick Lamar.
Totally Kendrick. Yeah.
He encourages students to flow like Poe, like looking at Poe's rhythm, his rhyme schemes in poems like The Raven, the dark storytelling, and seeing echoes of that in the complex flows and narrative depth of modern rappers. It's about seeing the connection between literary techniques and rap techniques.
That's actually brilliant. It elevates the view of rap as a literary form.
Precisely. It shows the craft involved. But the Lit Hop Academy isn't just for university students. It also offers private lessons for musicians, like Huge Euge.
Okay, so what's the focus of those lessons?
It's very practical, helping artists craft your best work and market it effectively, teaching them how to handle streaming, how to make money, but crucially, how to do it while making authentic art that's true to them, not just chasing hits.
A whole career approach.
Yeah. And MC Lars brings his own experience to it. He highlights his 25-year journey as a successful DIY musician as proof that it can be done. He's teaching from lived experience, not just theory.
That makes a huge difference. How does he teach?
It's hands-on, private, one-on-one Zoom classes. They collaborate directly on stuff, writing lyrics, recording demos, figuring out promotion plans, release strategies, the whole process.
Comprehensive. Does the Academy have, like, selling points? What makes it special?
Yeah, they list a few things. One is personalized learning. Everything's tailored to the individual artist. Another is real results, pointing to students who've actually released demos and albums after working with him. Tangible outcomes.
Makes sense.
Anything else?
The most interesting one, maybe, is cross-disciplinary inspiration. This goes back to the Poe and Kendrick thing. They actively dig into the overlaps between classic literature, Poe, Shakespeare, and modern rap icons.
How so? Give me an example.
They might analyze how a Shakespearean soliloquy, with its deep dive into a character's thoughts, is kind of a precursor to the introspective storytelling you hear in a lot of modern rap. Or how Poe's intense focus on rhythm and sound in his poetry mirrors the way skilled MCs play with multi-syllable rhymes and complex cadences. It connects the dots across centuries and genres.
That's incredibly cool. It adds this whole layer of intellectual depth, and Huge Euge went through this. He did. He actually gave a strong testimonial for it. Ryan Francis, that's Huge Euge's real name, said, and I'm quoting here, "MC Lars helped me push my creativity further than ever. His feedback was on point, and I left with polished demos and renewed confidence. If you're looking to step up your game, book a session."
Wow, that's a direct endorsement. Coming from Huge Euge himself, that tells you a lot.
It really does.
It shows their serious dedication to craft, real intellectual curiosity underneath the wild persona, the port-o-potty pictures. For you listening, it means even the most seemingly out-there art could be honed, refined, elevated through disciplined work and mentorship.
Yeah, it connects that raw creative energy with actual technique and structure.
And highlights how important it is for artists to keep learning, keep developing. It's not just about being weird. It's about being weird and skilled.
Well put. The mentorship adds that crucial layer of craft.
Okay, so let's try and pull all these threads together. We've gone from Riot Fest Speedos to FF7 deep dives to Lit Hop Academy. What does it all mean for Huge Euge now? Where's he headed?
Well, he's definitely got momentum. Building off that Riot Fest buzz, the new single Hummus on a Cracker is out. But significantly, he's apparently taking time off from shows right now.
Oh. Why?
To focus entirely on writing and recording new music. That's a very deliberate move for an artist. It suggests he's thinking long-term, focusing on creation. As one source put it, he's not just part of the show, he's the show. He's in control.
That's a powerful statement.
Yeah.
It implies real artistic vision.
I think so. It shows he's not just chasing the next viral moment, he's investing in the work itself.
Right.
We've seen his journey, right? From those unforgettable antics.
Unforgettable is the word.
To these incredibly detailed personal lyrics like in my favorite game. The spectacle draws you in, but there's real substance holding it up.
Yeah, it's that blend, isn't it? The humor, the absolute fearless authenticity we saw at Riot Fest, but combined with this real intelligence, this deep engagement with his chosen subjects.
Mm-hmm. He shows that being true to your niche, however specific it seems, can create something really powerful. It connects deeply with a specific audience, but the authenticity itself has a broader appeal.
And we've seen how nerdcore as a genre provides this vital space for voices like his, this welcoming community that celebrates exactly that kind of unique passion. And its influence seems to be growing, Subtly maybe, but it's there.
Definitely. And you can't discount the platforms either. Places like Riot Fest that champion originality, that give artists like him a stage to be themselves. And mentors like MC Lars fostering that talent, adding the craft to the creativity. It all works together.
So where does that leave us? What could be next? This period of focusing just on writing and recording. What might come out of that?
It's exciting to think about, right? Given his track record, you could expect maybe even more detailed narratives, exploring new corners of geek culture, maybe pushing the music itself in new directions, blend of genres.
Could he get even more ambitious with the storytelling? Maybe tackle even bigger concepts?
Possibly. Or maybe integrate the performance art aspect even more, create more immersive experiences around his music. With his creativity, the possibilities feel pretty wide open.
And how might that impact nerdcore itself? Could his growth push the whole genre forward, make it even more visible?
It's possible. Success stories often inspire others. His unique mix of performance, humor, and deep lyrical dives. Could that inspire a new wave of artists to be just as bold with their own passions?
Yeah, could he spark more people to turn their weird hobbies into art?
That's the hope, isn't it? His story is really this great testament to just embracing what you love, however niche it feels, finding ways to share it.
It's a reminder, really, that being authentic, truly yourself, and putting in the work to hone your craft, that's how you create something remarkable, something that lasts longer than a viral photo.
Even if the viral photo is pretty damn memorable.
True. Very true. So as we wrap up this deep dive on Huge Euge, what a ride. From that Speedo photo that started it all,
Instantly iconic.
to dissecting his incredibly intricate Final Fantasy VII rap and understanding the craft nurtured by mentors like MC Lars.
It shows there's always more beneath the surface, doesn't it?
It really does. So here's a final thought to leave you with. In a world that feels like it's constantly searching for something, anything, truly original, something authentic, maybe the most powerful statements, the most genuine creativity don't come from trying to fit in. Maybe they really do emerge from the wildest antics, the stuff that makes people double take, combined with those deep, passionate, maybe even nerdy obsessions.
The unexpected places.
Exactly. So what unexpected corners of culture, or maybe even just corners of your own life, are just waiting for a unique voice? Maybe even your voice to step up, make some noise, and maybe even make headlines. What's waiting to be turned into art?